Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Another day, another round. Global Summer 26, a global soccer showdown with myself, Gary Striker, and a very enthusiastic Netherlands supporting Hooligan. Good morning, Hooligan. How are you?
Dutch rule, USA sucks. No, I'm just kidding. It's I'm good. Overslept this morning, which is unusual for me. But hey, sometimes when you have, a bunch of stuff going on and you get tired watching soccer all the time. That's what I realized. It's not just playing the game that exhausts you. Sometimes watching the game can be just as draining.
And the weightlifting while you do it at the same time as well is also quite taxing as well.
Yeah, that is what is something that is not happening inside the Qooligan. Although my children lift weights, but I do not. No,
I see. Well,
when I said tell by my relative flabbiness.
I mean this kind of weightlifting as well. This very sort of restricted and controlled.
Oh, you mean the drinking?
Well, weightlifting, yes.
Yeah, it doesn't help. That doesn't help either. This type of weightlifting.
Yeah, there
sure.
you go.
That ain't coffee in there. Oh boy.
Oh my goodness. All right, Qooligan, let's get into it. Oh my God. So yeah, we were just discussing. I was watching the USA game quite late here, and I fell asleep. Woke up with 3 or 4 minutes to go, and I was like, "Oh, well, that's over." And then went to bed.
Oh.
And I was like, "Turkey won? Shit!"
Oh,
yeah.
Seriously, you missed living one of the great moments in the World Cup, I have to say, in real time. But for anybody who was watching, it wasn't much of a surprise. Let's just start with this one. Maybe you normally go in chronological order, but I think it does. I think with an intro like that, I slept through one of the great defeats of American history. Outside of the Iran conflict. That's, there's two in 1 year. It's not a good year for the United States on its 250th birthday. But that aside, a lot that can be unpacked from that game. I'll be honest with you. And in a way, for me, and I'm no diehard USA supporter. I don't actively root against them, but and I have a vested interest in them succeeding. But that game highlighted all of the things that I had some questions about from the first 2 games, because although they won the first 2 games and everybody was going, yeah, that's amazing, I was sitting there going, no, there are problems in this team that were not addressed. There were flat second halves. There were other teams that didn't take advantage of some of those issues, such as the lack of effective communication in the defense. And even though they put down Australia and they wrapped that one up, they did let Paraguay in, right? That was a warning sign. And what happened with Turkey was nothing more than that over an entire game span, as opposed to little minutes. They came out real fast, real strong, got an early goal, were really rah-rah. And then Turkey just went, no problem, we got this. And they did their job. The interesting stat of the night was Turkey took 2 shots in the first half. Both shots went in for goals. They had taken 62 shots in the 2 games previously, and none of those had gone in. It was the longest stretch of shots in World Cup history without scoring a goal.
Wow.
62 by Turkey.
Okay.
And Turkey didn't actually have that many shots. That's the thing that is most damning about what they did. They only took 9 shots total. 4 of those were on frame. 3 of those went in. Now, there will be many people who will go, Matt Turner. They'll Matt Turner the thing. I don't think you can pin that on Matt Turner. I do think that the first goal, if he does not hesitate on that line and he comes out strong, he cuts down that angle, he shuts down Güler, right? I genuinely think that's fine. You might be able to say that was his mistake, but it all happened in a blink of an eye. He did what he did. His positioning was fine. Güler's shot was really good, right? If that had been in the other 2 previous games, Güler would have hit the goalkeeper, would have been a save, and everybody would be going, oh, poor Turkey. Well, no. I do think the nutmeg of Christian Pulisic right there at the tail end that led to the goal will become a meme.
Yeah,
as popular as Tim Howard can save anything. There will be numerous references to Turkey cooking the United States. Lots of Thanksgiving jokes. It's just rife with all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's so much that they can do. By the way, I think that's the main reason why Turkey changed its name to Turkey, just to prevent that type of lower common denominator humor. But okay.
So, well, thank you for summarizing that game. A couple of things that I also noticed. First 15 minutes, US came out of the blocks, guns blazing. They had that intensity in the same match that they did against Paraguay as well. There was that intensity, and it paid off again, right? Getting that goal in the first couple of minutes. What was it with getting Trusty?
3 minutes.
Yeah,
I mean, it was like 3 minutes,
and that's how you do it. And then Turkey had a moment, as you say, and like Arda Güler, I know I've been shit talking him for the last 2 games and saying I don't think he's all that. But I'm gonna break off a sort of little crust of humble pie here.
Are you going to eat a little bit of your own crow? Right?
Exactly, yeah. Okay. Because he was electric. And you can see why Real Madrid had him. He just didn't turn up for the first 2 games, and I think it is to Turkey's demise, unfortunately. Right? They just didn't do it in the first 2 games, and obviously they're out of it. They did save a little bit of face, I feel. But if you look at the attacking momentum, again, it was all US. It was all US, wave after wave after wave, and yeah, he only got 2 goals. And then, of course, it seems like Pochettino sort of hit the panic button around 58 minutes when he had to bring on Pulisic. Timo Werner.
I don't think that was a panic. I don't think that was panic button. I have a feeling that that was probably strategic.
Just letting the horse get out of the stable.
Yes, he could not let Pulisic just sit on the field. On the sidelines. That was going to be a disaster for him. He needed to get out. He needed to get that blood pumping. He needed to feel that adrenaline. That was planned. I don't think that was panic button.
Okay.
And I don't think Poch is pushing the panic button on this either, right? Zendejas got minutes because that was important, right? They did pull him. He was the last person selected to the team. It's important to get him minutes. Attackers and midfielders don't get better by sitting on the sidelines. They get better by being out on the pitch. So that, I don't think Poch reacted with panic. I'd say some of the players on the U.S. men's national team reacted with panic in certain spots in the game. That last minute alone was an utter debacle of defending. I should say, non-defending, really. Everybody was scrambling. Everybody was desperate. It was like they saw the nutmeg and kind of just lost focus. And it was like, oh, they were all in their heads going, as everybody does when somebody nutmegs. They're all like, ooh. And then they forgot to defend because, the ball moved away around the pitch, made its way through Turner's legs. Again, not his fault. I mean, keepers go up, they go big. And, players know if you shoot right down the middle, you're probably going to get it in between, the keeper's legs. But then 3 defenders, all of whom were trapping back so desperately, none of them saw the angle of the ball. I mean, come on. It was a little Sunday league, right? It was a little Sunday league. But I give full props to a Turkey team that had nothing to play for and showed, except pride, and managed to reclaim a little bit of it. Because had they gone home with 3 losses, that would have been tough. That would be really tough on a very proud soccer nation. And at least now they're like, whoo, okay, we did it, right? We beat the hosts. Good on us. Nice. Let's go back and rethink about what we can do next and what our next tournament is and how we can make ourselves better. But no, kudos to them. And for the United States, a warning sign. It's a warning sign. Guess who loves to score guess who loves to score last minute goals?
Bosnia, right? Absolutely, yeah.
No, not just Bosnia. Ermin Memić, okay? 19-year-old Bosnian kid, right? Literally just transferred. He was on the Austrian youth system. Last month, went back to his home country of Bosnia. Said, great, I'm going in, right? That kid loves to score last minute bangers. So, they got to do something because at this point, it looks like he could come on, produce some sort of Bosnia wonder goal. They got a lot to look at before that Bosnia game.
They do.
And they
They
have
do.
until July, really June 30th to figure it out.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. I mean, I think, look, there are positive signs with the US. You can make the argument that it was a softened team and a sort of a rested team, which you can buy. I did like the intensity. I did like the intensity.
Dookie, there is no soft team at the World Cup.
Well,
they're going to never have a soft team at the World Cup.
Well, that's true, but they did sort of field a weakened team for strategic reasons and all those things, yellow cards and all those kind of things. It does, though, shore up, and we know now that the US are definitely playing against Bosnia in the round of 30.
Yep, that one
that I think is actually a very, very good matchup. It is going to be a very tightly contested game. I think the US, I mean, although I will say, by the way, SoFi Stadium looked absolutely amazing last night. That stadium.
It did, and it sounded good. And I think
the energy and all the stars, Brad Pitt and Edward Norton got back together. And did you see that?
The crowd did their part. They were 100% there, and they were there for Turkey too, right? I mean, I think there was a sizable amount of people out there supporting the Turkish contingent because it was just as loud when they scored. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well done.
So USA against Bosnia, and then it looks like as it stands at the moment, they will. Then the other side of that bracket is Egypt and South Korea. So assuming the US can get through, they'll face either Egypt or South Korea.
Egypt has to play today, and we're going to talk about that because that is turning out to be the most exciting group around. That group is turning in. I mean, that's a completely open. Any single one of the 4 teams in Group G,
it's wide open.
Can qualify.
Can get through. Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Before we get into today's games, let's also just share a moment and just discuss Deutschland or Germany. I mean,
what about them?
Well, I mean, they lost. I mean, I thought they were. I know.
I know they lost.
They lost. They fielded a full.
I wonder if that made me upset.
Well, that was not for you as of course on your side, but
again, I don't actively root against Germany, but if they don't win, I do not shed a tear.
Yeah, and so it's really interesting this whole World Cup because there have been you're expecting them to sort of go through and have 100% record as well, and again, it's not that many teams that have done it, right? I think Mexico are pretty much the only team so far to have 3 wins and
the only team,
right? And not concede. Yeah. Germany, I mean, Ecuador played really, really well. So, I mean, congratulations to Ecuador. What this means then is that Ecuador have managed to get themselves into quite a good position when it comes.
Well, they're advanced. I don't think we know where they're going to play yet because there's a couple other games that need to be determined. But we know they're in.
4 points is enough, and they're through. Yeah, just the same.
4 points is enough. That is correct. Yes.
Yeah. So they will. Yeah, we'll see who they play as well. But that was a surprise result as well. And then some of the other games. I mean, the Tunisia Netherlands. I have to confess, Hooligan, I didn't get a chance to see this because I was actually went out for dinner last night. So do you want to just share how was this game? I mean, Tunisia obviously complete clown show. How good were the Dutch? How did they look?
Well, and I would like to give credit to what you casually dismissed as a complete clown show. Tunisia actually weren't horrible.
Okay.
It was the best game of their 3 group stage games.
Okay.
They really showed up. They played well. Their goal was absolutely fantastic. It was a great goal against the Netherlands. Really kind of put the Dutch in for a tailspin on that one, I got to admit. It was off a corner, big, powerful header. Very reminiscent of what Virgil van Dijk does for the Netherlands, only they didn't quite defend that too well. So while it kind of, sort of disturbed the Dutch a little bit, they recovered pretty well and had pretty solid control over that match. Again, 71% possession, 43 touches in the opposition box, 20 shots, 7 on frame. Tunisia's goalkeeper made some great saves. There was nothing about this game that ever really had somebody going, gee, I think the Dutch could lose this. Most people who were watching this game were watching Japan-Sweden because the outcome of that game had just as much impact on the Dutch future as the Dutch game. The Dutch knew they had to win, but they're on level goal differential with Japan. So if Japan won, the Dutch needed to get 1 extra goal, right? Because the Dutch had a worse it's funny. It's called a TCS. It's a team competition score. And essentially it is, it's the yellow card rule,
Mhm.
right? So all of the disciplinary things that you can get as a team get assigned a negative points value.
Mhm.
You start with 0 and it starts subtracting from you. And the Dutch have a lower score than Japan. So if they ended up drawing, the Dutch were going to take the second position, have to face Brazil,
Mhm.
right? And instead, right? So then I'm watching the Japan game with one eye, just as I'm watching the Dutch game. I had both games on. And so, but they never seemed to get flustered, and
Mhm.
they dominated the game as they should. They kept their possession, they kept their cool. And, but give props to Tunisia, who showed up and actually made a game out of it. It wasn't
Mhm.
a roll. It looked like it was going to be a rollover. Dutch
Yeah.
scored 2 goals in the first 11, 12 minutes.
Yeah.
So it looked like it was just going to be a complete annihilation, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because they locked it down, they got one back, they made it interesting, and they kept fighting for the entire 90 minutes. So good on them.
Yeah.
Now, Japan, Sweden, wow. Japan is a good team.
Yeah, they are.
And they're a good team because they make everybody else play poorly.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Right?
Okay.
That's the most, if you look at Japan and you look at the stats of the teams that play Japan, they essentially stop teams from doing what they normally do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Against the Dutch, it was statistically the worst game the Dutch had.
Mm-hmm.
Lowest XG, lowest touches in the box, lowest shots on, all of that stuff. They did it to Sweden. Sweden only had 15 touches in the box. It's crazy. Now, they did it 8 corners. Nothing came out of it. But the XG for Sweden was 0.61.
Wow.
Right?
So they really hampered them. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Really hampered. Now, what Japan didn't have in this game was a particularly strong, they didn't have a particularly strong attack. Although I will say that goal by Maeda, that was an absolute masterpiece of interlocking play.
Mm-hmm.
They showed it from one of the cams up on the top of the stadium.
You can see it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Amazing.
Stunning. Absolutely amazing goal. I give full props. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Amazing.
And so, but Japan is one of those teams that's interesting because they're not necessarily all that fun to watch from a sense that you're going to see a wide open, basketball style, both ends of the game. What you're going to see is a real hotly contested midfield battle. That game is fought between the boxes with the occasional brilliant flash of play into the attacking thirds.
Yeah.
But that's fine. It's a very effective way to play the game. So that's what happened. And as a result, that draw actually was a good that was as good a result for Sweden. In fact, a bigger result for Sweden because now they have 4 points.
Yeah. And they top the third place at the moment, so they're through.
And because of those 5 goals that they scored against Tunisia, they had themselves a nice favorable. They had themselves, although that did get nullified by the Dutch. I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right.
Well, to be honest, they in the third place rankings in the leagues, they are actually at flat 0 goal difference at 0, right? +7 negative.
Yes, that is correct. Which is a good place to be.
Yeah, Sweden are fine. They are absolutely fine.
Yeah, they're guaranteed qualified. We just have to find out where. But yeah,
exactly.
No, it was well
as
done.
It stands. They will be facing France as it stands, but of course that depends on sort of various other things. What is interesting is what is your thoughts now? Just sort of now we're sort of beginning, the round of 32 is beginning to reveal itself and things are beginning to get locked in. Netherlands face Morocco. That's
a tough draw, man. It's a tough draw.
If you're a Dutch fan, it is. For the neutral like myself, that is a game that I am definitely going to be watching.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it was. Listen, the way the whole brackets were set up, it was either going to be Morocco or Brazil.
Yeah,
there was no easy path in the round of 32 for the Dutch under any circumstance, unless they came in third.
Yeah, which it wasn't going to happen.
Which they wouldn't do. That's something that you don't, as a strategy. That's not a strategy you play.
Yeah.
So, I think they know that. There's a small part of me that thinks that the Dutch might actually do better against Brazil than against Morocco, but we're going to have to wait and see. Either way, it's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
It's going to be inside the Netherlands, which has a sizable Moroccan population. It's going to be, I would love to be there for that game because the atmosphere is going to be magic. It's going to be mostly orange, but there's going to be some real nice deep pockets of Morocco maroon red, right, and green. So I'm all for it. I think it's going to be. It's in a way, it's a quarterfinal matchup in the round of 32. So relish it, ladies and gentlemen, because it's a lot of those aren't going to come around very often.
Wow.
And that's going to be good.
And they're playing in that beautiful stadium in Monterrey as well. Hey, so that's wonderful.
No.
Where are they playing?
They're in Houston.
They're playing in Houston, are they? Oh,
which is the site of where they had their triumph against Sweden. The Dutch love playing in Houston. Why? Climate controlled.
Yeah, it's inside. Yeah, it's inside. Are you sure? Because the stats, the data source I'm looking at says Estadio BBVA, which is Monterrey. So just check on that one. Just double check before you start publishing content, because there's maybe a conflict. But anyway, we can do that offline. But yeah,
where are you looking? No, seriously, I'm just curious.
I'm on SofaScore.
Where are you looking?
I'm on SofaScore. Not a ringing endorsement. I know you're a FOTMob guy, right?
Well, no. It's not a question of that. It's that I've noticed there's a lot of data weirdness that goes on between these things.
Yeah. Okay. Any other games from yesterday that you wanted to talk? Oh, one other thing I did want to say, just talking about Sweden, by the way.
We've got to talk about Côte d'Ivoire, right? I mean, other than them saying they won, but go ahead and make your point.
Won. But the other one I was going to say, I know we skipped over it as well, was Anthony Elanga for Sweden has that guy. Now that's three games in a row where he's come on and he's been really impactful, so much so that he actually got a start. I know because he plays for Nottingham Forest, right? That's where he plays at the moment, and he doesn't seem to be. I don't know that I just don't normally see that Anthony Elanga play Forest, but he really does for Sweden. He really turns out, and I'm sure he'll be bidding. I'm sure there'll be some scouts eyeing him and seeing if they can prize him away from Nottingham Forest, because he looks really, really fantastic. He does. Okay, you wanted to speak on Côte d'Ivoire against Curacao?
Well, I mean, not much to say. They won.
Not much to say. They won. I mean,
By the way, Anthony Elanga does not play for Nottingham Forest. He plays for Newcastle.
Oh, it's Newcastle. That's it. Sorry, he did play for them. He did. Am I getting?
I mean,
someone else. He did play for Forest, right?
That and the fact that you think that the game is not in Houston. I don't know I'm not sure exactly what the
data source is there. Okay, Côte d'Ivoire. Anything you want to say except for the fact that it looks like I will be seeing them in Dallas play against the winner of Norway or France. I hope it's France, because I would like to see France play, but I will be seeing Côte d'Ivoire in the Dallas game here. This was, again, against Curacao. I think the Curacao...
Check your tickets, man. Maybe they changed it. Maybe it's in Monterey.
Maybe it's in Monterey. Okay, let's go on to today's games. I am excited and getting forward for this Norway-France game. I think for me, this is
this is a
or two, right?
Beautiful. It's gorgeous, actually.
Yeah. Do you think that both teams? I know France will obviously be without Didier Deschamps. He's had to travel back to France for personal reasons. Yeah. Sadly, the passing of his mother, so he's gone back to mourn and grieve and do all the things that need to be done there. So there will be a stand-in on the French bench. I wonder how much of an impact that has on them. It could be negative. It could also be very positive. It could actually, I could see Mbappé scoring, taking his shirt off and saying, "We miss you, Didier," or something like that. I could very much see something like that happening.
Yeah, I don't think it affects them at all. Mm-hmm. I really don't. There's just no. There's no. There will be no loss of fidelity in France here. Yeah. That said, I don't think this is going to be a walk in the park. I think everybody recognizes that this is the game. This is the game of games. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, you're looking at two really good, strong, informed teams, both sitting on 6 points, both fighting to get to that magic 9 number, and neither of whom is going to pull any punches here, right? In most people, pundits would be like, well, what are they really playing for, right? They both know they're getting in. They both know they're guaranteed. They're both probably not going to, they can see in some ways down the line of who they might play, who they might not play. Maybe that'll make an impact. But the simple fact of the matter is you have got some significant alphas on both sides who just do not tolerate losing and are not going to tolerate losing to that team.
Yes, exactly. And again, what I think is what I'm most looking forward to this is seeing how France's defense can handle Haaland and Côte. because this is really, they're going to finally get a test. And the other interesting dynamic is obviously his Haaland and Mbappe are both going for the golden boots. I know Mbappe is probably going to have more of a chance because he'll probably stay in the competition longer. But again, as you say, they're not going to take Haaland is not going to take his foot off the gas. He is going to be trying to bang in as many goals as he can and get ahead of and try and get onto that top spot for the golden boot.
Yeah.
So, and Mbappe as well. He is not going to let up as well. He knows that he's behind Messi. He's got to guess it. He's got to keep going. So yeah, this is going to be a very, very good contest. So much so that, as you say, it sort of puts all the other games. I mean, just looking at sort of, where is it? Just looking at group, is it group D? Is it? They're in, no, what group are we, group are they in? They're in group I, excuse me. They're in group I. And so Senegal, Iraq, Senegal are sitting at the bottom of that third place league. And they need to obviously sort of go and absolutely run over Iraq just to give themselves a chance and get out, which I think they probably will. And Iraq, I mean, Iraq have not been great. So they've not been impressive at all. And I don't think there's been too much to say about them. So you'd expect Senegal to comfortably put those guys aside, but definitely unclear on what happens on Norway, France. You'd think France will probably have the edge, but I think it's going to be a 3-2, 4-3 thriller. And those are the best types of games to watch.
Yeah, the game's worth it no matter what.
Yeah.
Senegal, Iraq, I don't think anybody outside of people really diehard supporters of either of those teams is going to watch that one, right? Unless it's on a secondary screen. Because there's just nothing there, right? The only thing Senegal hope for is they just need to pound goals past Iraq. And then pray that goal differential lets them jump over Scotland or someone else, right? It's like, or any of the other 3-pointers.
Well, to be honest, though, if you say goal differential, the thing is they're sitting bottom at the moment in terms of Senegal have got no points. So if they get just the win, it will put them at the win and get a few goals as well. Yeah, it'll get them up to 3 points, but their goal difference as well. They just need to get over Scotland, as you say. So if they win and score, they will have a better goal difference than Scotland and pump Scotland back into the out of touch.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Just
You're approaching me like I was like speaking gibberish. I'm like, I'm not speaking gibberish, man. Although, by the way, you are correct. It is the Dutch are playing in Monterrey and not in Houston, and that's really interesting. And I know, and I will tell you offline exactly why I made that mistake. You're not going to like it.
Okay. Well, anyway.
No.
Okay, moving on. Then after that, and then so that's the Group I games, and then we've got the Group H games: Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and then Uruguay, Spain, which is probably the interesting game here to see. Saudi Arabia,
Uruguay, Spain, absolutely. What a great game that's going to be.
That'll be a good one. Yeah, that will be a good one.
But here's the thing.
Yep. I know. I agree exactly what you're going to say. And yes, it's very interesting, isn't it? Cape Verde could actually finish in second here because Spain beat Uruguay and then Cape Verde beat Saudi, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
This is these two. No, you were absolutely well done. I mean, you know me too well, Gary. This is the other group. You've got two groups here, both of which are completely open, and any one of the teams, even the one in last place currently, could have a game of their life and suddenly find themselves in their in the knockout rounds.
But we all want Cape Verde to win, don't we? We all want Cape Verde to win.
I think everybody in the world wants Cape Verde to win. Yeah. I think secretly even Saudi Arabia wants Cape Verde to win. Maybe not the Saud family themselves, but for those handful of free thinkers inside Saudi Arabia, they probably want Cape Verde to win too.
Yeah.
And listen, it could happen. It could happen. They have been probably the best of all the debutantes outside of Jordan. I still think Jordan has played really well, very sprightly. Just if they're like a raw, untested team, that's fine. They'll get their chances. But I think Cape Verde has come in with an approach, with a discipline, with a style.
Yeah.
Right. They know how they play. And they are all 100% committed to that. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even Curacao, at least, they're making efforts. There's no sadness in the Curacao team. There's and same thing in Cape Verde. It's all joy. They play with joy.
Playing with freedom and they're enjoying themselves.
Unfettered freedom and everything. And they're just thankful for every amazing stop that happens. And so, Good
Here's
on them.
here's a harebrained scenario that could realistically happen. Cape Verde beat Saudi Arabia, and
Yeah.
Uruguay, Spain, and Spain finished in
Mhm.
third place. That would
Yeah.
be that. I mean, that is possible. Obviously, Spain didn't do themselves any favor by drawing to Cape Verde, but yeah, Spain, they've not been convincing. Hey,
Could happen.
yeah.
Doubtful. Cape Verde would have to put up a lot of goals.
Well, Cape
But
Verde, but I mean, Cape Verde. No, if Cape Verde win and Uruguay win, they both go to
oh,
5.
are they sitting on 2?
Yeah, they're both sitting on 2 because they
Oh,
both
they're sitting
drew.
on
Yeah,
2.
they both
Yeah. No, that's absolutely right.
so
Then no,
it's
you're 100% accurate.
so that's it's just interesting how Spain. I know they're sort of top to sort of win this again. What we certainly have seen from some of the other teams, Morocco come to mind as well. Is first game they just didn't get out of first gear. Second game suddenly come together. Third game wake up and suddenly come alive. And I
Yeah,
think I wonder if
sure.
we'll see that with Spain if they actually sort of decide to turn up and absolutely just go for it. But either way, Spain Uruguay is going to be a fantastic game.
Yeah.
It's and especially if you're Valverde, who's obviously the Uruguayan captain and the Real Madrid captain, and know that there are no Real Madrid players except for Marco Correa now on the Spanish squad, so he's going to have fun kicking chunks out of his arch rivals from Barcelona, which is going to be an interesting one. So I predict as well that Valverde is going to get at least a yellow card, quite possibly a red as well. The passion's going to get
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Okay.
I don't see Uruguay doing much of anything in this. They've not been good, and
Well,
I
again,
don't think I don't think their fortunes change. And I think Spain's not good is better than Uruguay's not good, and I
Yeah.
don't think Spain is going to be not good in this.
I think that they're gonna.
They revealed in that second game that they can be utterly ruthless.
Mhm. Yeah.
And they're going to just completely go utterly ruthless against Uruguay. And as you
Mhm.
said, I think when Uruguay gets like that, they start to get physical. Depending on who the referee is, you could start to see a bunch of cards flowing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see.
Okay. All right. And then moving on to the final set of games this evening, it's going to be late ones for me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay up and watch these, but Egypt, Iran,
It's
and
too bad. They're going to be, these are great games. These are all great games.
These feel like, do you know, it was like relegation day on the last day of the league, and it's a domestic league as well. It's like who's going to get relegated, and there's basically 4 teams that haven't been playing great, and all of a sudden are just basically going to sort of like one of them just has to have a good game and they get through. Right? That's essentially what happens here.
Yeah, kind of.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah. Belgium has probably been the most disappointing of everybody. Egypt, I don't think has been terrible. Um, and they're now on the ascendancy. I think Egypt should be able to take Iran. I think that there's a belief in Egypt. There is a sort of call it the Salah effect. He's there. He's not being the main focal point, which is the
Which has
key.
been a good thing for them. Yeah, they're not too dependent.
He's just been effective. He's just working as a cog in a larger machine and willing to give all that credit to everybody else. And he's dishing out assists and he's doing all that stuff. He got his 1 goal. Very nice. I think this is the game where it all comes together and they're going to just finally play with a certain freedom and that'll happen. Now, Belgium, New Zealand. Ooh, I don't know, man. If the New Zealand of their first game shows up, where Wood and Just can combine and the rest of the team just sort of go in and support those two, Belgium could be in for a very long day.
Yeah.
Belgium also, though, has the capability they've got such good players, and Doku's back, right? Because he left for the second game.
Well, he had a baby, didn't he? Yeah,
he returned to Belgium for the birth of his child, and say what you will, but don't criticize a person for that. I think that's very misplaced, right?
I think it's an old school mentality, isn't it? Of like,
it is an old school mentality. It's like, come on,
what's more important than the birth of a child?
Sure.
Compared to this,
so I think that is a spark that could put Belgium over the top. I'd say it's quite a stretch to see New Zealand beating Belgium. It really is.
It is a stretch.
And it's not because New Zealand doesn't have talent. It's just they don't have as much talent as Belgium. All Belgium has to do now is produce. So the onus is on them. The onus is on production. They have their fate in their hands. So do it. Just do it.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, another day, lots of exciting games. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to get ready and going down to the local bistro downtown in Austin as well to go and watch this France game. So looking forward to that. Qooligan, as always, thank you. Until next time.
Peace. Yeah, I am. Can you hear me? Interesting. Yeah, I think we're okay. I think we're going to be fine. There's no reason to go through. I lost the connection.